to go. Let's roll out.
Yeah. All right. So I want to get into some familiar names here to start us out. And I'm going to start with Piton.
I apologize. I didn't make a hot list. I got 2 seconds.
That's all good.
Um, I won't even name it. I'll just throw it out there. Piton, huh? Piton, huh? I like that. I like. I think it was 13. No, yeah, 13, 12. I was gonna give this a week. Um, but yeah, where's your flow going? You going back up?
So the yes, and this is actually this position the whales are buying gives it a week too. I mean, essentially is kind of how I would put it. Um, they got leaps to in 2025, and they bought a lot of them though. The volume of 30,000 in one day is huge for Piton. And it's the sold puts at 14 on the shorter expiration at
Jeez.
217 14p that has me interested. And then it's also 317 15c. So I think we check down a bit, stabilize, ads anywhere under 14 is kind of pretty good for me. I think that's likely to bounce back. And then that move um, uh, to 15, 17, 50, 20 is kind of what I see over the next several weeks.
So I'm giving you guys. I give too much lately. I've been talking about how I play socials in chat, but screw it. If you're watching, I'm giving it up. um, 13, 12 is my line on this chart. Very, very similar to my line of Upstart 24, 25. Um, I'm buying $13 and $12 here. That's what I'm looking at. I don't know if it's 13 or 12, but that's the area that it needs to hold for this flip. Um, so yeah, I'm with you, P. $13. You say under 14, that's an extra dollar from what I give. I would say, but my range would
Yeah.
be back to that 16 with your 18 calls. But it sounds like there's more on the table than that. Um, but 13, 12s are perfect. Anything with 12 on it is a perfect ad. If this move's going, I was totally, I was wait another week on here just because I mean you heard my thesis in the last part.
Yeah. Well, yeah, yes, and Piton is one in particular that is going to give you kind of an oversized move to the downside, at least for like half a day or something. If we get some big jolt down, so yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, a lot of what I looked at, and you'll see it when we get into my stuff, is Thursday was bad. Like I don't care who you are, if not, you're going against the grain. But what did Friday do? Did you get back Thursday? Did you get back half of Thursday, or did you continue down? Piton was a continue
Yeah,
down. Piton was a continue down on Friday, and that's why it would just be a wait another week. But Flow killed it um, on the move up to that 18 last time. So I'm definitely following that.
yeah. Well, and Thursday was my best day, but this is the reason I scalped profit taking on Enphase, and it just never stopped going down.
Yeah,
So I just basically like would walk up the stop on it, and all of a sudden just hit these crazy percentages. And then I had a QQQ put that went like 50 to $400. Like, but I mean that again, it's not something I expected, and that's where like a scalp can turn into a day trade. Just don't just don't go the other way around. So
yeah. Know where you are
yeah,
for sure. Know your entry.
yeah.
I guess that's probably the best way to put that. Know your entry. Um,
Um, yeah, and if you want to be bearish on anything, look for something that's kind of frothed up. Don't try to short something that's already beaten down. I mean, it sounds obvious, but that's what's always tempting to do. A stock looks terrible, you want to short it, but that's not really high percentage. So
confirmation is the problem in that situation. They that move is
yeah,
confirmation. Um,
yep, yep.
awesome.
All right.
Good stuff.
So next up for me is I'm throwing Beyond Meat back on there,
Hmm, like it.
and
Greatest hits.
now this one is is a little bit more independent of the market as a whole. So I'm not as concerned about like the market's having a red day. It doesn't automatically mean that Beyond Meat's going to be terrible. If the market has a green day, Beyond Meat can go down. So so this one, I want to give it a little bit of room just based on what I'm seeing. But so I have bullish sold puts uh, at 15 and 15.50, and then I have calls 217, 7 or 15.50, 217, 20, 217, 21, and 317, 20, 22.5. So basically, everything's kind of skewing bullish on it with limited downside, which is funny to say for Beyond Meat, but I think 15 is about it. I don't think we're going to see under 12 anytime soon.
Okay. Professor doesn't really need me anymore. 1435 1-year volume profile would be my bottom with a $15 psych level holds thesis. Still got 25 as my bottom of the channel where this will work back to someday if the company survives. Yep. I can't believe I like this. Gross.
Yeah. Right. I don't know how much of the like a boost from Super Bowl parties they're going to get. That's the corner of the table everyone avoids probably. Beyond Meat section.
Did you see the I think they called it punt on the TV thing? It was the Super Bowl commercials last year and how much they were down over the year, and then the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
and then the ones that are going to be this year.
Yes.
And I think Beyond was in there.
Right.
I think they have a commercial.
Gosh, they're putting their whole ad budget into that. I imagine. All right, so next up for me, so this one's a favorite, and we did not at all really miss the move, even though it went up 10% on Friday, which is 9.
Bro, we gotta figure that part out. Because I was on it. We was on it.
Yes.
And you just you just had the flow read so good, and let's just be smart here. I'm not a genius. $10 psych level. Ask a question. I mean, that's all it was.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. But your flow read. I mean, at 5. So in October at $5, I said, man, this thing looks overextended, but I think it's got some range. It was like $9 a month later, which that's about 100%. And the professor was like, nah, this is going to go to like 18, 17. I think it was 17 or 18. I was like, Jesus. And it did. It really did. And it's energy, so I think it kind of gets that. Super good flush. These low names, that run like that, they're going to pull back. Shout out to ASRT. That's why I like this setup. I really do like this setup here.
Yes, and it fits into my my thesis about oil. And I had a couple that they weren't on the hot list, but did exceptionally well. Was like a WTI and an OBE, and they're like exploration stock. So anything to do with like support of the oil industry, stuff they'll need to do new drilling, anything like that is good. And 9 fits right into that. 9 engages in the completion services provider that targets unconventional oil and gas resources. They offer cementing services, completion tools, wireline services, coiled tubing services. So like you want to do new stuff with oil, like you want to go into a new area or anything like that, 9 is a company that you work with. So that's a big positive. Now in terms of the flow, what really sold me here is that late in the day was when all the buying happened, and it was at 217, 13C, and 317, 30, along with 217, 12C. So that is a good spot to see this make that move, and then from there, that's when you're going to start to see the 16C and 18C start to come in, I think.
Yeah, when chargers were hot, I found Beam. When oil was hot, and rig, and then 9 kind of kind of fit that. But I actually found 9 off of Rig after Rig ran. That Moo,
Yeah.
the Moo that I tell everyone to get, you can actually filter like by similar companies. And when I'm bored, I'll go to previous winners and look at similar companies. This just fits stuff on that I look for, float size, PE, cash on hand, stuff like that. Um, and then you go into the deep dive in it. So I like it, but yeah,
Yeah.
it really is like the just looking for, like you're saying, like the unique little guys that will benefit off the overall move. Um, Not one of a
Yeah.
kind,
And
not necessarily one of a kind, but just unique.
uh, they don't get heavily shorted on the pullbacks. They start they start moving. It's if oil starts to dip, people are gonna start going after Zom and Oxy and Devon, and that's where you'll see the big ask side put flows come in. These are just quieter, and they don't get a ton of volume, but they don't actually need that to make that move. It's
Yeah.
just really smooth up here for
Nice.
9.
Nice.
Okay, so my next one is pretty kind of similar, VTNR,
That was on the
which
list.
again is one that that did make a good move already, but there's a lot more here, and let me give you some
You
strikes.
got the 15s. I'm telling you, they're always there.
Yes, I've got January 2024 15C.
They're always
I
there.
have March 12.5. I've got just a lot of
That's new. That
yes,
that
yeah, that
12.5
is.
in March
Um,
is the new one.
and then just a lot of 17, 317, 7.5C. Those are in the money, but they do work to push it some. And then the 317 10C and 421 10C as well.
Yeah,
Just
it's holding this thing down. Um, it's had 6 straight green candles on the weekly, but it ain't moving fast. Which just means someone wants these shares. It's what it feels like to me. Not a huge volume spike, but if that comes in, above 10 real quick.
yes, and I'm going to put something up in the main chat real quick. Just a chart I look at. It's kind of the first thing I look at, and then some just stand out as very bullish. Um, and just by looking at it before I even get into the numbers. So so that
Hold on, let me.
you can see on the volume of the bullish or bearish volume, and so that's going to encompass both the puts and calls. So basically the puts and calls are bullish. And you just see these thick green bars all day, and then you see a spike at the end of the day where they load up on calls like into a weekend read. That's what I look for, and it's, by the way, I think why usually Mondays and Tuesdays are our best days,
Yeah.
because I can see this kind of carryover flow, and it influences a lot of what shows up on the hot list, and so this is exactly the setup I look for
Is
on
this
that
by,
on
is
that
this by
chart.
one strike or just all strikes?
That's all strikes, and you can
Okay.
go in
Okay.
individually to strikes and see when they're buying them and how those work too.
No, I like this better because again, the more complicated you make it for me, like the easier it is to get fooled. This is just an overall picture. They're buying or selling, right? Like,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
then you're looking for when they're buying and selling, and at the end of the day, it's important. They're buying throughout the day. I
Yeah, and
like
they're
I
buying
like
into
that.
that strength. Like it's already up 9%, and they're still buying. They're still buying more. So that's a good sign too.
They made 4x. I think it was the third quarter. I haven't seen their fourth quarter numbers yet, but I think they made 4x like what they were supposed to make. And the stock hasn't moved off that news.
And I just I think it's just gonna fly once we finally get into this gap from that August gap down. That's where I think you can get into that 12 to
Yeah,
14
yeah, no,
range.
that's where the line's at is on that. I think it's 8 something, like 880.
Yeah.
Because yeah, when it breaks that, it should really start to move up. Yeah, 883 to 15 are the two lines I've had on this chart for a while, and it tested that what in November, and
Yep.
it just did the December sell off. So yeah, take some time, but I
Yeah,
yeah
it got caught up in the whole energy pullback at that time. So
got caught up in the
uh,
market.
yeah, yeah.
Good stuff. Man, I'd say 4 for 4. I'm like our plays, but I can't claim Beyond Meat. That's all.
Right.
That's all you.
I was when it was just the heavy selling. I was sincerely hoping that it was going to fall like $5 to $8 because like at that point on the share side, you
Yeah,
just knew like that was going to be huge. I mean, you're going to get
yeah.
400% in
Yep.
shares if you could get prices that low, but never quite made it.
Yeah, I was
Um,
around. I
but
was
still
around
good.
like $6 or $7 on that one is what I was hoping for, and then I was definitely in full position. Wait and see. Really good. That's a really good
Yeah,
lot. That's a great
I
lotto.
wanted Beyond Meat to be like your trade of the year. That was my goal. If we could have gotten down to that level. All right, so next up for me is BE, Bloom Energy Station. This is uh, a tech stock. It's the type of energy they do generators,
Okay.
and this sitting right at $24. The on this, I've got January 2024 30C. The shorter term stuff, I got 17, 25, and 26C, and that's those contracts are the main reason I'm interested in this. Then I've got sold puts at 22 and 24.
Yeah, 22 or 20 should hold on my end. 30 is your last high. Just came out of ER. Whatever's going on there. Um,
Yes.
so I think that's a positive at this point in time, being on the other side of ER, especially on the stuff that you don't really, that's not mainstream, the bigger names. Just letting them get through the report seems like a really good idea right now. But yeah, I like it. I like it. I'm trying to look for numbers right now. Yeah, 27 cents earning per share beat 12. 460 million. They're about 60 million over. They're 400, so they're what 20% over revenue. Yeah, I like it. Just off of that.
Yeah, and um, they're one of the stocks that got caught up in the rally and made this huge move from bucks, and then you sort of see like, okay, which of these stocks are kind of justified in making that move, and which are just going to give most of it back. So they have some strength, and that's what I like about them. If we do get some selling week, that this trade gets even better because those 217 contracts, 217.25 is probably what I would go for. That's about $50. If we get a pullback, it'll be 35 or $40, and then you can trade it back to 50, which is easier than trading 50 to 75. So yeah, this is a one I'll kind of look for a dip and get in on a few. And they have monthly cons, so you might go out to market if you want a little more room.
Perfect. Perfect. No, I like it. I
Now
like it.
I'm really curious about your take on this one because
Uh oh.
I think
Here we go. Here we go.
the flow is better than the chart, and I just want to see your take on MAT right now.
On which one?
Metamaterials, MAT.
MMAT.
Yep.
Oh, the dollar. Yeah. Oh yeah. I just don't like it. It's thick. We're thick to a dollar. Um. I
So
think it.
the flow picture here is 224 1.5C and leaps to 3, which kind of commonly see, and then 3 3 1C. Yeah, I mean, I get hesitant on stuff under a dollar, but I wanted to get it on here because um, I just think the flow's telling me it's gonna at least test the dollar, probably break through to 110, 120. So I don't know. I mean, definitely a lotto type play, but I wanted to get it on there because I know it has a following.
Yeah,
Really, I mean, the chart's pretty ugly though. I will say that. I will agree.
the so 80 cents is definitely, there's something there. Like it should hold that level. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, but you're pretty much you're 60, 80, 80 to a dollar. Um, then every 10 cents after a dollar is real choppy on the volume profile. Um, so it's thick in general, but you're like, for me, it's like a knockoff AMC or that GME thing. Like they're trying to play that, and if any news comes in or they just get fatigued, which you can kind of see the fatigue is already on them in this chart. Um,
Yeah.
there's just no hope for the position, but I can't stress that timing is everything, and then saying this is not playable. Um, but for me, you got to really follow like the real news and read through the FUD, and it's not going to be the cleanest move north, in my opinion. I think we're better than that. I guess that's
Mhm.
the way to say it. Um, but if there's something there that this is okay, if this is going to $2 p, maybe more, I think we should be on things like this. If this is just going to make a 20, I mean, yeah, 20 to 40% move, I think we're better than that.
That's where I'm torn though, because the flow, if you take the ticker away, which not that you should do that, but the flow says this is going, and that can be a bit of illusory, but like the put to call ratio right now is 0.008. So it's selling off because of fatigue and not because it's being actively shorted in options. I don't know what the short interest on it is or anything like that, but I think like for me, I don't want to day trade this. I just like just hate following stocks like this. But I actually would probably get a leap on it at like 1.5 C and just leave it alone. And that's going to go $20 to your 100 if this does actually make a move. So that's
What
my take on it.
what's
Small position lotto.
what how much money are you seeing? That's a good question. Like how much
In terms
money?
of what the whales
Yeah, how much is being spent on these
are
options
spending
you're
on it,
talking about? Are we talking like $3 or $4 million? Are we talking like 50 million?
let me give you some math on it.
Just, I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but just in general.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So in this is kind of the average like per trade, I guess. So yeah, I mean it's nothing huge. They're doing like $50,000 positions on an average, like on a day at a particular strike. That's what they'll be spending.
Yeah, to me, that's just degenerate gamblers. Short on the share side, it's pretty consistent. Um, there's not a lot of shares to borrow, but
Yeah.
it's pretty consistent. Yeah, your call. Your call. How'd skills do last week? I didn't really follow it.
Uh,
Let me pull that chart up. That's I'm sorry, that's gonna judge you on the skills.
yeah, yeah. No, skills didn't have a
Um,
good end of the week.
yeah, again, if you're strong on it, we can roll with it. I mean, we're talking about it. It's not like we're saying, "Hey guys, Matt's going to the moon." Um,
Yeah,
so if no, you set a plan up there. If you like it, let's yeah, I'm with
yeah, we
it.
can do it.
I'm with it.
Um,
It's kind of a one
the
week
rest
thing.
the rest of my video game stuff did really well. The TTWO, that was actually the one I bought um, after earnings.
Yeah, no, the
One
keys.
105 to 115. That's great.
What was your top?
Um,
What was your sorry? What was your top end on Matt? That big? It sounds like such a douche.
three
Three,
C
three C.
but that's for January
That's
2024.
just a long term. Yeah. Yeah. There's something.
Yeah, and I agree that there's like a degenerate gambler quality. Some of those degenerate gamblers are institutions.
Sure.
They play these too.
Sure.
So that's kind of where they're at with it.
I like it. I like it.
All right, so then get into some materials here. I want to get in on this one now, just because of kind of the timing of the strikes, but I would strongly recommend waiting. So and it's Merck, MERC. This is a stock, pulp and wood products, and on Friday it dropped 8.5%. It They have earnings coming up on Thursday. And the buyers here at 15C, 317, 15C, kind of tells me they think they're going to beat earnings, but I kind of want to just get clear of earnings too before I really judge this. But I think it might sell off a little bit more. You can get it close to $10, like that would be ideal, or at least under 11. And I would get May or April calls at 15C. Kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. 10's your book value. I believe that'll hold. That's what I'm looking at. Maybe 10.30 even. I don't think we get. What's this guy? Yeah, I don't think we get this 9.50 at all. And that your book value here too. Long-term value profiles closer to 14. That would be what I would want to see. And you said you have 15, so plenty of move. That's 40% off the 10 level. I like that. I like the setup. Definitely with you other side of earnings, even if it means taking a little bit less.
Yes, and if like I'll put this, I might actually have a call through earnings, but if I'm planning to buy 5 or 8 or 10, like my earnings position is literally like one, and that that yeah. So okay, well here's a good example. So like 519 15C, like $20 or something like that. I might just play one through earnings, and then even if they do beat, look for the pullback, and then then buy more. But I think that I'm high conviction those summer 15Cs are going to go in the money or close to it. So that's sort of where I'm at, and I don't really want to mess with it as an earnings lotto, just because I think the chart sector flow, all of that, are going to pull it back up regardless.
It's better earning lotto than playing the big names. I mean, you get in five
Yeah,
contracts
for
for
sure.
$100. I mean, and you got
Yeah.
and you got a lot of time. Like you don't even have to be right on earnings. You have plenty of time. So I like it as in that regard. $20 you said?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah,
Yep.
there you go. Get your gambling habits out there.
Right. Exactly. Yep. The boring stuff.
Well, and the time
Paper.
you get time. Usually, you can't get time with a lot of the earnings play. Um,
Yeah, that's what kills me about when people try to play Chegg with weeklies. I'm just
yeah,
like, why are you even doing that? I mean, you're probably gonna get a huge move, but the weeklies, the IVs, 400 or 500%. Just get a leap on it if you have some directional idea, and you're better off doing that.
yeah. It seems the
Um,
option side on some of this stuff isn't as cluttered, so it just makes more sense too, right? Like,
yeah,
um,
absolutely.
yeah.
All right, so next up for me is RYAM, RYAM.
Oh, you like that one, huh?
Yep.
I forgot which one I liked. I had a long day yesterday. I forgot. There was a few. There was a couple of them. I was like, these are decent. That you had dropped on
And,
your Saturday.
so this one, 317, 7.5C stands out, and got some 818 15C that sort of
Um,
interested me a little bit. But mainly it's that 7.5C for March, and then for for May, those are my main targets.
yeah, we're just having that. This is some healthy pullback kind of needed. I mean, we had a 550 to 750 run, so I mean you're 40% there. So this is some natural pullback. I'd like to see the 619. That would be my low spot on the 1 year volume profile. 625, 619, somewhere in there. Kind of hold. So a couple more cents. Um, but yeah, I like it in the sixes with those flow reads.
And they do have earnings, so just before that too. It's Wednesday after hours.
Oh, that didn't come up on my chart.
And all right, so next up for me, SVM, silver stock.
Is it? Are you just bullish on this one, or well, I assume you're bullish, or the silver in general?
Uh, Silver in general, this and Gato stood out as the best setups in options. Um, but yeah, this one, it's the buyers on 5C for, yeah, April. So 421 5C, and then leaps at 5C, leaps at 7.5. This basically, it's the kind of flow that says like, okay, the silver uptrend, we pulled back, but we're gonna get back into this uptrend here. So that's why I like this one.
This sold off Thursday, came right back Friday. Um, Good example of that. Finally found a chart that did that really well. I mean, it's on pretty much a straight wash. Um, so this 330, 325 area is probably what you're going to get. Again, another chart that kind of ran a little bit. Nice pullback. Opposite of most, it ran into the year and pulled back in January. Um,
Yes, and the with the big flip deal, the least persuasive aspect of the big flip is that precious metals are going to see new lows. That's just not supported by anything I'm seeing at this point.
it's not supported by the
So it would
manufacturing
take,
we need.
and it would take a lot for gold and silver to see fresh lows because they were way down.
Yeah.
So that would be, yeah, something happening globally that more than just interest rates and the value of the dollar. Like it'd
Yeah.
take more than that
Yeah.
to pull back that much.
For me,
So
like
yeah, I'm still
you need that
I'm still
stuff.
bullish on these.
You need this the demand for material, silver, nickel.
Yes.
I mean, it's not going to fall out, in my
Yeah, and that's what
opinion.
I think people don't always consider about gold and silver. It's not just your doomsday prepper with his safe full of silver. Like there's more. There's
Yeah,
more that it's
yeah,
used for than that.
yes. It's not the old guy buying the coins at 5:30 in the morning
Yeah,
either. It's
exactly.
That's not it.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so then last one for me. I'm sorry, I got two more. Second to last one, I got Cenex.
Okay, I love it. I ain't have to say anything else on that one.
And yeah, this is definitely a previous winner.
Back to
Um,
12.
Nice pullback here, and yes, so I got 317, 12C, and 11C all over the place. I got leaps to 15.
Yeah, it's a good chart. I like it. 10 Sykes holding. That's actually perfect if you look at the move out of the first of the year. Um, yeah, very healthy on the weekly. Daily looks like crap.
Yeah, it does. So yeah, what I'm looking for is basically like a daily, I guess, reversal type candle. Just kind of get something settling in the middle of one of these fat sell candles, and then we go from there. But yeah, flow wise, I think you just want to give yourself a little bit of time. I like the March 11C. It's about 70, 65, $70, and you should be able to take that to 90 or $100 if we get a reversal here.
Yeah, I like not necessarily stacking my bids on this one, but just having a plan, buying at the 10 psych and then on down to 950. Um, I don't think I'll get filled all the way in that plan, but
Yeah,
you'll be in the move for the move. 20% back to the
definite,
12.
dev, definite swing stock. Not
Yes.
really a day trader type deal.
No,
Um,
exactly.
all right, so then last one. I want to get ASTS back on there. I think we had
Yay.
taken it off.
Yep, it was on mine as well this week. You got two P.
So got 7E, so 7.5C for 217 and 317. And the 217 7.5C is interesting because it basically is showing no, kind of CPI apprehension or anything. They're just jumping right in. That was the most popular contract. So they're basically saying that it's going to have a good week despite data and MOPEX and all that. So I just really like this. We're moved to 750.
Um, this is a good midweek topic as Pele brought it up. He follows this one really well. He likes trading it. Um, but I have a 621 line on it, and they were all talking 650. And if you just look at the chart pretty much last week, half of last week before, I mean, 650 does get touched a couple times, but if you just move it down to the 620 level, it gets touched almost every day. And realistic expectations is kind of why I do that in general. But again, that level flipping, what I'm looking for, the 620 right in there. And we've been doing that for the last 2 weeks. Kind of going against the grain of the overall market trend. And then they did have this SpaceX news, which will probably be followed up with more news next month when the actual launch is. So I do like it. I like the whole sector though, which we'll get into. Um,
And whales do consist into leaps anywhere from $10 to $15 if you go way out, like next year. So that's kind of one of those things that is hard to time, but they just could get some news that'll make it just go crazy, and they'll just already be in some cheap leaps on that. So that's a strategy you can follow too if you want to, and that is like going to cost you about $15 or $20 to have a whole year where like if it squeezes you'll already be there, and those will go to like 100. So
yeah, nice. Yeah, this is an old SPAC, so 10 kind of dominates the volume chart, but um, anything under 8 long term, I think you're good if this is a successful venture.
yep. All right, so then that is it for my new stuff.
Perfect, perfect. Well, ASTS was the first one on my list, so we got that. You got the first and the last not new one on my list. Pretty funny. The V and the A. um,
Nice.
back on Baba. Interested. Um, most of mine
Are
are
we
just
are
like
we doing yours?
yeah.
We're doing yours
Oh
now
crap!
instead of
No
the
crap, crap. You're right. You're right. You're right.
okay.
That's what happens when I stay up later than 10. I'm all off. Hot list. All right, AMRS. Well, this is I don't know how you guys trade this, but man, you buy in the 50s and sell in the 70s. Don't get cute.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's kind of the setup we're in. I'm not seeing the uh, big push for the out of the money calls, but they kind of tightly control this one where 150p is bullish, 2C is bullish. So we're right in that channel, and those 2Cs don't necessarily mean it's going to go to 2. So it's going to go to 175, 178, 180, something like that. But we're in a good spot to add it. I don't think we get like a full breakdown that's not supported by flow at the moment.
Yeah, at this point in time, for the option traders that want to start trading shares, this is probably the best guy. Um,
Yeah,
buy 50, 60 shares of this, whatever, 100 shares of this, and buy it a couple different times too. So you can get some scale in. It's just cheap. Probably not going to zero.
yeah, with you.
APA.
Oh, this had a excellent recovery from Thursday into Friday.
Yes, it did. Well, it got Wednesday and
And
Thursday back, is what happened.
yeah, yep.
Um,
I'm gonna take it off for now. I mean, I think there's energy plays out there. This still has some plausible flow to 50. Um, I just think um, we might more realistically be looking at a move to like 45, 46,
okay,
and just stay in that zone for a bit. So um, not A plus, probably B plus.
perfect. BTU. Cole's been getting wrecked every morning. I mean, big moves down 4 or 5%.
Yeah, no, it has. I do still like this one, and let me
Yes,
give you
the the
the
but
strikes on
the
it.
pullback in coal has not matched the pullback in BTU. This thing does not go under 25. It fights.
Yeah, and it's still got that 28C 30C.
ER Tuesday, does that look like?
Yeah, yeah.
Before the bell. I like this. That's the only thing that scares me about it is the coal. But if you, I mean, I hate leaning on you in that regard, but if you say coal's fine, this is a great compression. While the price is going down, they're not really going down.
Yes, and if I mean, I'll honestly be looking at earnings um, for shares. Like I might even just put in a bid at a big drop that I think might happen with like one candle, and just try to get a fill. I don't know exactly what number that would be, but um, like 2450 or something. Because that's just not. I just don't think that drop is going to last, and I think it does come back. Um, they're too heavy into this in that 28 to 30 range across all expirations for this to just collapse. That's my take right now.
You want an ER number? ER dip number?
What's that?
2492.
Nice.
2492. That's what I got. I'm writing it down so I can say, look, P, it touched it. If,
Yes.
if, you, if you think if a flush has happened, that would be the spot where I would be like, all right, that's if that bounces, eat it. Um,
Yeah, and I would be. I mean, I'm talking like for me, like I don't know, like 10 or 15 shares or something, just to just try to get that fill that I think is going to bounce right back.
no, yeah, it's a half positioner for me. Just buy 50 of them. I mean, these
Yeah,
ones are great. The ones you find in the 20s, I love because I put a couple $1,000s in it. If it moves from 20 to 30, it's 50%. It's flipping great. It's very low risk. For me to lose even like $500, I got to go down to 15. I mean, it's they're really great when they're in the 20s for me. Um,
yeah, right. And I mean, one of the reasons I started playing shares and a lot more of this stuff is just I I wanted more of that reward and payoff for the work I put into these.
yeah,
Whereas like I don't want to work for hours on stuff and get a day trade of 3 calls, get my 20% of the calls, and be like, okay, I'm on to the next one. When you have some shares and can actually build something up and catch that more of that move, definitely rewarding. And
yeah.
you don't have to really stress about shares as much in some of these high conviction plays.
No, as long as you get your sizing right, and I stress that all the time. It's almost autopilot.
Yeah, yeah. Don't lock up half your account ETU shares or something.
Yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
no, no. We're keeping that though. Yeah. Yes.
yes.
Okay. Klein. See,
The longer it
stays here.
holds down here,
Yep. Yep.
the bigger the move's going to be up. That's kind of my take, and the flow supports that too. Where I'm seeing a lot more eights now. So I've got April 8C. I got 6C all over the place for 217, 317. Got June 9C. I've got leaps to 10
Jesus.
um,
Should we
for
put
2024.
should we put this in the Leaps channel?
Yeah, actually, I think we should. And honestly, I think I had a note about that last week and I didn't get around to it. So
All right, let's
I'm going to put it on posted right now.
yeah, let's kill it off the
All
hot
right,
list.
off the hot list and
Yeah.
into leaps.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Graduated. You're what are those? AP student? isn't that
Yeah.
isn't that AP student? Isn't that like smart kids?
Yeah, that's AP. That's for high school, and then we've got honor students for college. Yeah.
Well, these guys ain't in college. These are shitty penny stocks. So these AP students.
right.
Yeah. Your baby, old coin.
Yeah. So this sold off a little harder than I thought. It so the month of February it went from 57 to 85 to 57 already.
Mm-hmm.
Which is it surprised me a little, but it's actually not shocking for Coin to do this. One of the reasons I trade it so much. All right, so the flow on this is a little bit noisy with what happened in the weeklies. I see some bearish flow to 50 for 224, and I have a line at 50.86. So that's definitely plausible. There is some activity back to 70 in some of the March calls. This is very much dependent on what Bitcoin wants to do and how it wants to react to things. We're at a point where I like the upside more. 56.77 is kind of what the line I'm looking at right now. If it does break down, it's going to fall to 50 very fast, though.
Yeah, I this is becoming my favorite stock. As just far as explaining our styles to people, I have two lines on this chart: 76, 43, and 53.86. But it's more of a long-term historical thing on a stock that doesn't have a lot of history. Your stuff is all intraday, short term, like where it's currently living. So I just like how those not necessarily line up, but how they show a different perspective on the same stock. So I'm with you, 53.86 right now. We're not overextended anymore. That's where it first got my interest before the move up. Has that feel like a Tesla and the Meta, right, where it ran through two levels? It not holding that second level was not a shock to me at all. So checking, more of a shock that we did check all the way back down to 53 in like a week. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on the upside from here.
Yeah, and their earnings are next week, so we've got kind of just a clear week of trading on this, and I was a little bummed. I had my shares at I had shares at 35 and 42, and I went ahead and got rid of them on the way down here. Sold most of it at 80, and then a couple at like 84, and then it came back down, and at 70, 71, I went ahead and stopped out of the shares. I was kind of hoping to carry those longer term, but I might get some shares again if I don't know that we're going to see the 30s again on this.
Why don't you keep freebies?
Yeah, I know. I should have kept them.
You should have kept some. You should have kept some. If they're free, because I mean, you were free. You were 100% at that point, right? Yeah,
I was.
Yeah, I mean, keep a couple free. No, I like it though. I don't think we're gonna get under 40s again. That 47 kind of sticks in my head. But this could net this
740. That's one of my lines. Yeah.
yeah, this could be the next Netflix. Really good. Where it just
And
gets
some of these taps on lines, I mean, they're very fast too. This is where that kind of day trading comes in. So on Friday, it actually made this move over 61, and that lasted about 3 minutes, and then it collapsed all the way to 56 within 15 minutes. So
yep,
61 to 56. And that was a day too, like where you see the market starting to sell off. You're better off with a put in this for the following week than you are with some zero DTE SPY stuff. I mean, in my opinion.
100%.
But yeah, so these lines have been great. Again, going into the week on mine, that 56.77, but I do think we dip to your number, and then upside's worth looking at from there.
Yeah, whatever your checks and balances are, line up well with coin intraday. So it responds to whatever you're using, and that's a trick to any stock. I mean, people want to know the magic indicator, what EMA, what VWAP, RSI. No, every stock's gonna respect something, but every stock is gonna respect something different. And I think you have that figured out with coin. You just have that figured out intraday with coin. Where my approach is clearly historical supply and demand. So it's just I like this stock because it explains that very well, and they're both super tradable. You just trade it daily. I trade it when the timing's perfect.
Yeah, and I don't understand why a lot more of these gamblers don't notice coin. I mean, I don't know why anyone would call a drugstore stock for for a zero DTE day trade when coin on any given day is gonna give you a 7% range. It might be 3 up and 4 down, but that's kind of how it works. So
yeah, that's
that's
the market. Last thing on coin, $30 candle mention.
Yeah.
COP, ConocoPhillips.
Yeah, this I was really happy that this played out kind of according to plan.
Nailed it, P.
Got that leap entry I was looking for, and still holding a couple of those. I kind of COP, that was a particular setup for that week that was based on leaps, and I got it and I'm in them, but I wouldn't add them here.
Okay.
And by the way, this is Monday's their dividend day.
Yes.
So you could get a dividend flush, and there could be an opportunity there, but it's not the reason I added it to the hot list, so I'm not going to keep it.
Perfect.
Basically, but if you do day trade oil, there could be a good opportunity on that divvy flush.
Caesars, CZR, hit our 55 target. Hated Thursday. Didn't really like Friday either. Setup still intact. Super Bowl mention.
Yeah, let's see.
I just don't think we stay.
Is the Super Bowl in Las Vegas?
I think we're in Arizona.
Oh, okay. I saw something about you can gamble at the Super Bowl.
Then it is in Vegas. It has to be in Vegas.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to NFL.
Which that's just funny to me. I mean, just imagine in a concession stand line or something.
There's gonna be some fights there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think what stands out here is I do have some bearish puts to 49 and 50 for 217. So I think the pullback continues a bit.
All right. I'll get back on it then. Dino?
This was one of the oil plays I wanted to keep.
Sweet. Yeah, I like this. And the Devon.
Just It's tends to be kind of readable and quiet, and that's kind of the story with oil mid cap. Sometimes I like this to 60, 317.60 C stands out. That's about $100 contract, and could easily take that to 150, $175 um, by the end of the month. So that's my swing candidate. And
Yeah,
even if you're not already in it, probably look for a pullback to like 54.50, something like that. But I don't know that you're going to get much more than that.
oh, that's one of the reasons I like this thing because it does have decent range to allow entry. Like you'll get a dollar or two range. Um, kind of does go with the flow in that regard. I have 53, which is why we had it on the list last week. So yeah, I hope the professor's right there. If 54 is the best we get, then we're in good shape. Still have kind of the 58-60 test is what I'm looking for. Not the biggest winner, but more of a safe sector right now. Confident trades.
If oil gets going, I can already tell you what I'm going to see on this. I'm going to see April 65C. No one's buying that yet,
Yeah.
but they will if it gets moving. You know, sometimes whales they don't like to be too early, and they want to see it kind of prove itself. But if it breaks 60, it's not. If it breaks 60, it's not going to 61. It's going to 65. That's how I would put that.
Yeah, and for me, from now till April is when you really want to be getting into your oil plays because they'll blow up in the summer. That's when they're going to do well. They
Yeah,
just
we were early, but you also didn't miss it if you're not in it. That's how I
exactly
put it with oil.
perfect. Dollar Tree.
Let's see. I didn't respond how I wanted it to. I'm going to back off for now. But again, if you do see this fall to like 140,
Yeah,
I would
yep.
just buy it there.
That's that trend line. Love it. DVN. Good old 5% up off the level. Really
Um,
good Friday. We got
yes, so
earnings.
I like this. The earnings are going to be good. I think doesn't mean that the stock will go up on them, but it's doubtful earnings would just crush you on this. I don't see that happening. So I have 68C 324 stands out. I've got 70C for April as well. We get up to 70. I think it's going to get back into my lines at like 73, 74, something like that. So yeah, I like it. Kind of plausibly, realistically, this move to 67, 68 is kind of what I'm after.
Yeah, I'm looking for nothing under 62 this week. I'm in this one, but currently, but that's where I'm at. These are a little bit slower. Give them some time.
Yeah.
28 was my level. Nailed it. EVLV.
I'm gonna take it off. I got the.
Got
It was like kind of a grind up and then one explosive move,
Yep.
and that was good enough for me.
Yep. Figs. Very interested where you are on this guy. We pulled back a little bit. I got 916 here, but we're still in a good spot if the flow's still there. It was inside bar on the weekly. Volume profile is like 850.
I got 317.10, and so this one there's some there's some bearish flow to 7.5p, but I think realistically that 8 probably holds. This is just how the strikes work on this. But I don't think we'll see 750, but we could definitely get closer to 8 before we turn around.
It's 10% down. This
Oh,
isn't
yeah, that would
this
be
is
10% down.
this is an A plus then right now in my
No,
opinion.
no.
Okay, okay. Fubo, I'm bagged right now.
Um, oh, you are?
Oh yeah, I got like two. I think I'm right at 230 on like 400 shares. It's not. I mean, it's not horrible. I can add more, but I don't like where I'm at.
Yeah.
I don't
Um,
like where I'm at. I mean, be honest about that.
two is probably it. But I think it's gonna test two.
Well, we're 10
We're
cents
close
from
enough.
here. Yeah, we'll keep it.
Yeah, 224 2p is bearish, a bearish contract.
I'm not scared here, to be honest with you. I just have that lower level. I don't think, as long as we stay up off of that, two's perfect, to be honest. Um, if you go off of, I mean, because we got overextended. We went from at the year mark, we were down at $1.60, and we went all the way up to what, $3, 326. We 100%ed, right?
Yeah.
This isn't Tesla, so it's going to check back down. Two seems like a good higher low in the scheme of things. So um, I like them.
Yeah, I think so. And 3C is still fairly bullish across a lot of expiration, especially into March. So
A lot of their users are bars. Like, if you have a bunch of TVs,
yeah,
that's who likes these guys because they get everything. It makes it easier for them. They don't got to switch apps and stuff like that. That's what I'm noticing. Um,
yes, yeah. And their app works pretty well. I have actually used them. So
yeah, you know, and people that
yeah,
want a lot of sports. Yeah, no, 100%.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't hear
yeah.
many complaints. Besides like 70 or $80 a
Yeah, I
month.
like them. I mean, I would have preferred to bounce at like 280 or something. But you know,
240 was
all good.
my hopeful number.
Oh yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
started buying. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's where I started buying. Then I averaged down to where I'm at. I know I don't want to hear it. I believe in it though. Groupon.
Yes. All right. Let me see here. Gonna stay away from Groupon.
Yeah, my bad. Hey, my bad. I was 100% me. I liked where it was at, and all the apps. I don't know if that was because of Lyft or what, but they did not like last week.
Yeah, big divergence between Lyft and Uber. Uber seemed to Uber had a nice reaction to earnings, and Lyft Lyft is one of those where you look back at it and the puts that were $1 went to $100. Those kind
Jesus.
of 10,000% moves on a lotto. Yeah, missed that one, but that would have been good.
Hertz.
Um,
Daily's a wreck. Weekly's a triple plus. Still kind of confirming the 17, 72, $18 area. Um, but man, they're building a partnership. I think it's Blink, might be Plug, but I think it's Blink, the Tesla, the Lyft or Uber driver, DoorDash driver stuff they're doing. Um, they're setting up to be a corporate rental hub as well as still.
so Whales, they have this one trade that they're doing where they're selling 17.5p for 317, and they're buying 20 for 317. So I like that, and I like that we're closer to the 1750 than the 20 in terms of actually entering this. So I do still like it.
No, it's keeper then. Yeah, I like them a lot. The weekly's in a great shape. I mean, the weekly's a beautiful weekly candle trick if you're watching. Kodak.
Yeah.
Surprised it pulled back like it did. Like that it kind of slammed 350 in the face.
Yes. On both of those, let me see what I got.
My sideways week last week was sideways for the market and the big guys, but for the pennies, the shitty stocks, it was some pullback. Let's just be honest about that.
Yeah. I still got Whales, they're moving out a couple months on this, but I've got 421 5C and 721
Sevens.
7.5C.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is it still strong?
So um, yeah, I'm good with keeping it. It's not a day trade. That's kind of what I
Okay.
would say. We're in kind of a swing zone. If we start to get into the 320s and fail there, I'd probably go ahead and get out of it. But um, around 350, I'll
Yeah,
exit.
we didn't really talk about that in the first section about swinging, um, but it goes back to all the stuff's not going to get up at the same time, and you just have to find what's right in the moment for the next like 6 months. Like in October, I just kind of had a good feeling on Crocs for the holidays. It was nothing more than that, um, and I swung that for a decent position. I thought I was going to 100%, but I didn't. um,
Yeah,
but you just gotta. I mean, that's a great example because it's about the shittiest play, and it's again about timing and knowing the value of something. And I waited on that one forever. And then Square Christmas, same thing. Like you gotta find something that you trust the chart, the levels, and then yeah, just have a plan and execute on that plan because again, it's not all gonna happen at the same time. I said it, didn't do it with Tesla at 100, right? So
yeah,
if you're a 5 or 10 year investor, this is a first buy. But that's how you have to approach it. This is not the buy; it's the first buy of a couple, and you're going to build a position and you're going to hold that until the chart shows fatigue and or you're happy with the profit. I mean, that's it. That's where you take the day trader to the swing trader is the profit line. When you see it, you take it like your coin. If you're a pure investor, you would have never let go of that. You're a day trader. 100%, we're taking that. It makes no sense not to. So,
yeah, absolutely. And I know that like for me psychologically with swing trading, I mean you when you're kind of like starting out with this and you have your day trade account and it's like you're putting most of it into day trades every day. Um, you grow to a point where the sizing would make you nervous to get into those things. Like when I post like 100% gains on Enphase or something like that, I don't want 20 of those contracts. I
yeah.
I want three, and I think I might always want three or maybe five. It's you just don't because anything that can go up 100% in 20 minutes can go the other way on YouTube, and so that's where like the when you're sizing up um, swings and safety just become so much more important.
Yeah, no, that's how I started, P was I mean not to get too much off track, but like that's how I started
Yeah,
was with like the Nvidia is my best example cuz I was just putting money into that like pretty much every other week. You put 1600 bucks into the stock that's 140 $160, right? And eventually you have, 16 $20,000 in it. But I couldn't have clicked the button once and built that position. Like it wasn't going to
yeah,
happen that way. It happened because I was building it over time as a swing trade. Um, and that helped from the jump because you learn real quick. Whoa, whoa, lots of money there. Let's slow down and find another one and whatnot. But building a position it's we don't talk about enough, but it is a vital tool um, versus planting a flag.
yeah.
All right, Mara broke our professor line. I'm a 24 Bitcoin K guy. This will have good days, but um, I'm kind of off Bitcoin if it's not back to 23.5, 24. I don't know where you are.
Um, yeah. So so my just to give you a sense of where I am with Bitcoin, shorting MSTR and day trading coin are the only things I'm doing with Bitcoin right now.
Okay,
Yeah, so I'm gonna back off this one for a bit.
perfect. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the price or the flow to kick in. A or B for me. 24K or professor pounding on the table. Let's
Yeah.
keep it simple around here. Invis
All right. Here.
311 broke Friday. We were holding 311, which is my line. excuse me, 311 broke Thursday, sideways Friday. Kind of a dip buy, but also not above my channel. I like 311 because 311 to 6 is very, very clean on the chart.
Yeah. So if I had access to insider information, I want to know who is buying 1P on MViz and why. Because every single day, this one whale is buying 818 1P and January 2024 1P. Everything else about it is bullish though. Like so the like 2P is on 324, 92% bullish contract. I've got 3C for 217 is bullish. I've got 5C for 224, which is like that'd be a huge move. That's a bullish contract as well. So I just don't know what the hell's going on with that 1P thing. So that would scare me about swinging it, but it doesn't really bother me day trading it. That's how I would put it.
That's very interesting. Um, yeah, let's keep for one more. Let's keep it.
Yeah,
Because I think it'll be good early in the week, or it will. I think it'll let us know early in the week. Par.
yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What is it? Oh yeah. So I was just gonna say like in terms of it's kind of good to get the amounts of money they're spending on this in context. So they basically on those puts like $3,000 and $5,000 a pop. You know, and they're doing that almost every day, and so they're building up a pretty big position in it. And I don't know what kind of news would send that down, like an offering or it'd have to be catastrophic. $1 for
Yeah.
MViz,
Yeah.
I just don't know. But you know, it's going to be one of those like I'm not really looking to buy into, but if it pans out, that's going to be insider info for sure. Okay,
That's
anyway,
great.
next up.
That's great. How much are those? Sorry.
Um,
The contract, the
about
dollar.
$10.
Okay. Okay.
$10. Yeah.
Interesting. Par with the extra R.
Oh yeah. Um, Kind of nailed this one. This
Mm-hmm.
was good. Let me see. So I think this is going to third, but you know that was why I put it on here to begin with. So I wouldn't add here to go to 30. Want to see how it reacts. Get a pullback. You know, I don't think we're pulling all the way back to 22, but we might like 25 or something like that. So might return to this. Could be like some of these we found before that just keep going, like Sting and ones like that. But I'm going to pull it off the hot list for 1 week, see how we react, and then go from there.
Perfect.
You know, it does have some buyers at 40C for August, so that's possible. But
I like your Sting
yeah,
Sting Fro comparison here. That's a
yeah.
great way to look at these. Rite Aid sideways
Um,
went with Thursday, came right back. Super sideways down here though, 350.
yeah.
340, 350.
I still have to kind of recalibrate my thinking with Rad being $3. Nuts to
It
me.
shouldn't be.
Because I traded this from like eight to 12 times. That was kind of where I was trading it. But let me see. I've got
They have $450 per share sales.
yeah.
So crazy. But they're in debt.
Mm. Yeah,
But
bad time to have debt.
yeah.
So we got 317 4C is bullish. 350 puts are bullish too.
What's your fair market value on this guy?
$8.
Yeah, we're keeping it. Just want to know where your head was at with that guy. I'm not that up there, but I'm definitely 6 or 7. Roblox.
Um, I was kind of hoping 40 would hold. Let me
W-
see.
with you on that. That's what I thought the play was there too.
So this to me is it's playing a little bit like Chewy does sometimes, where
Mm-hmm.
I think we're kind of in the middle of a zone here, and I think we pull back to 33, 32.
Two. Yep. Yep. Week off.
Yeah, week off.
REI. You're starting to like this one.
Yes, and I was kind of stubborn to keep it around. But yeah, so this is I think going to get going here, and $3, 317, 3C is what stands out.
Yeah, I like him. Volume's really good. At 220, 250 is kind of where we are. That itself is tradable. But I'm with P. The move's coming. My favorite setups are the ones I'm on for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then the flow comes in. Those are my favorite because I've been watching the chart already. I'm prepared.
Yeah,
Ride. How about now? How
I got
about
to
now?
step away from.
Yeah, how
Yeah,
about now? I knew I was gonna be saying this week. I had a crap. Some of my pennies got killed. It just is what it is. RRGB. Burgers are what's the word I want to use? They're resilient.
they are. Yeah, that stands out. So not much in the flow right
Sweet,
now,
sweet, because I
but
don't like this here.
yeah. So that day chart has the look of a waterfall to me getting
Yep,
started.
yep, yep. For me, I have 840p to 11, right? Um, I want to buy this in the eights, and it shows strength through 10, not die at 9.5 or 10, right? I don't want to. I want it to keep going through 10. That way, that psychological level becomes support. If
I
not,
want, yes, aggressive selling and a brick wall. That's what I want.
yeah, yeah, and if not,
Yeah,
you're gonna get these eights again, and then you can just keep playing
yeah,
that, in my opinion. Um,
yeah.
perfect. Sense.
Nah, it's
No, okay. Skills.
kind of a bummer. Bummer. No, never
Yeah,
let me put that on again.
I okay. My bad. My bad. Al, I'm just taking. I'll take all the blame for last week. It's 100%. 100% my
Yeah,
fault.
I'll blame you for my penny stock again.
Yep. Hey, I'm the penny guy. I'm the penny guy. Um, yeah. No, that's a good example. Is that the market was sideways and the pennies took the brunt.
The theme was right there. The
Oh
video
yeah.
games took off like crazy, but just
Yeah.
not that one.
Yeah. Yeah. No. SQQ.
Yeah, we'll need that.
Yeah. Gonna have to heat that one, boss. Where are your You got a target for that right now?
Let me check.
Short term. I'm. Or how long should I hold these 32s for, P?
I I probably kind of oversized the 32, but I mean it worked out. But I bought more than I normally do. Just didn't think that would last. 43 for 224 to 28.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I just want to get to 40. I'll be good there. TTWO. Take two, right?
Yep. Uh, I'm just gonna take the win. That was like a particular setup, earnings flush and go, and
Yep.
it did it. So
I like more of that this year. The one on, one off, right? And then people will get to not waiting, right? They'll say, "All right, it's on this week. We better go."
yeah.
Um, so I do like that. Upstart.
Um, no, I
Yep.
gotta
With
take
it.
it off.
Yeah, I was off of it last week, but I didn't think it'd fall this far either. Um,
Some ugly daily candles.
yeah, buddy. You don't have a choice here, Val.
Hey, check my Leap channel. It's in there.
I know. I read
I
it
just
this
added
morning.
it today.
I read it this morning.
Yeah.
Um, I love that. I like that a lot. Yelp.
And it,
Sorry.
by the way, one, it, I mean, the flow is great on it, and it also is a little bit more resilient than the sector as a whole. Um, Part of the reason is that it's in Brazil, and their market kind of does its own thing. And they're actually, I've talked about this a long time ago. They were way ahead of the rest of the world in dealing with inflation,
Yeah.
and they're kind of through the worst of it. So, still like them.
Yeah. Shout out PBR too.
Yeah.
Yelp. I didn't read the report. We got the move. It's
Yeah, I
playing
should
the
have played their. I
33.
should have played their earnings. I forgot to. I thought it was going to be good. Uh,
Yeah, I did not read that report. I stopped reading reports by halfway through the week. It's like it doesn't matter what it says. It matters who you are. Your public perception is
yeah,
more important at this point in time.
I still got 33s and 35s and 37s. So the 33s and 35s are for well, 33 is 217, 35 317, 37 is August.
They upped their 2022, 2023 guidance a little bit. Everything else was in line for the quarter.
We're in a fat gap right here to 38.
Yeah, we are. Let's keep it.
Yeah.
Um, YEXT.
No, I'll take it off.
Perfect. Zim.
Just early here. Still 20 and 32, something like that.
Yeah, I like. I think I like that sector. The shippers.
Yeah, Gogol too.
Yes.
But I'm not putting it on, but it's a kind of good complimentary one.
ZM.
Uh, Sort of got what I wanted out of this, and actually, I didn't quite like. I was looking for about 88. I think it got to only got like 85, but
85. Yeah.
I need a new setup to shake shape on
Okay.
this.
Okay.
And
I still like it, but I want it to be A plus. If not, there could be some serious downside to this guy. I wanted
70 should hold.
Yeah,
But
I
we're too
wanted
far from
80 to
70.
hold. Like if this was staying on the list, 80 was going to hold this week. 80,
Yeah.
78. This under 75 kind of scares me a little bit. I'm with you on that. I don't think it's over though. We're not done with that. Like that's the
No, not at all. I've said before that the 2025 leaps on it are 120C, and whales are still in all those. So, and
nice.
they added those when it was like $65.
Nice, nice. Work. Well, that's the end of that guy. Get into my stuff here. I had ASTS first, so glad we got that one. I do have a couple more space plays. Um, let's just go over those real quick. So I do have Rocket Lab again. The old Kathy Wood special. We are at top of the channel, which is at 477. 477. The bottom is 410, but we've what 4 weeks kind of top on the top of this channel with range off of it to 550. This thing still has like 7.5 written all over it.
So yeah, I've got sevens. I've got July 7C, and A lot of fives and sixes, all expirations.
No bearish though, huh?
Yeah, I mean the put to call ratio is 0.39, which is very low for a space stock because they love to short those.
Yeah, I'm add this one just to keep people on it because I think in the long run it's going to be a winner for sure.
Yeah.
List. I swear I had another one here. Oh, PL. Duh. 456 is my one line. Just checked back last week to this level. I don't really have a top end, but I just like the range off of this here.
Yeah, my top end is 10 for the summer. So there's kind of a gap in options. There's just not a lot
7 to 10, huh?
close to this level. But yeah, it's like 750 or 10.
Yep. That's because there's a gap on the volume profile there too. That's interesting.
Oh, nice.
I think this runs a bit. I mean, the only time if you put 450 on your chart since whenever this was May, June back then, since it came up above it, outside of the 1 week sell off into the year, it hasn't been below 450. So I just like this level seems very safe, whether you're swinging or trading on it. 450 to 550 is $1. Y'all know how I trade. Just that in general, it works in that regard. It works for me to keep it around. I can notes it if the flow isn't strong enough. I can notes it. I'll leave that part up.
No, I like the flow. It's weird that 5C isn't a bigger deal, but 5P is bullish, so it's like they're selling the put there instead of
weird
calls. But run to 7 is on my radar.
Like it. Yes. China in general, but BABA because it's on a level and it's the one I know. Which is the 101. The lower level of that is 87. But definitely plenty of rooms either way. Kind of have the trend line here we put up as well. Might be a week early.
The China plays to me are kind of a preview of what I think a market pullback is going to look like for U.S. stocks, where like it does get pretty aggressive, but we're way off of the lows, and we're not likely to head back down there. So some particulars here: 120C, 224, and 115C, 224. Those stand out as pretty bullish. 103P is bullish as well. So I think our level's good.
All right, then we're back in my opinion. I mean, that's like flipping perfect.
Yeah, let's do it.
Perfect. CGC made it through ER. That's one of the big reasons here. And then we're bouncing off this 222. You might not have flow on this yet, but I definitely want to bring it up. So if you see it, it's kind of a reminder for you. We lots of range from here. Still haven't got our catalyst though. That's for sure. They're dragging their feet on that.
Yeah, I mean the puts at 2 are bullish on it, so that 2 will definitely hold, I think. And then 250 is kind of bullish, but we're sort of in between there though, so I'm a little nervous about that.
Yeah, 222 is my level. That's the level. So I mean, it's in between.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Better for notes.
No, I mean I think it's not like I could get a strike there, right? So
yeah.
With these $2 stocks, I'm gonna go ahead and trust your level, and yeah, I like it.
Perfect. Yeah, it's just over. I think it's a little bit of an overreaction on their ER news. Now this guy we probably 5-minute conversation on it, but I think it's worth it. Dash, ER this week. Right on my level of 57. It's my lower level. Solid 3 weeks off of that, with some pops to 65. So there's plenty of upside range. if their report is at all good, in my opinion, they're going to just wreck shop because of how bad Lyft's report was. They're going to basically have the perception that they're stealing market share from them. I think they'll do better because they have the food on lock. Um, Mop Tops.
Yeah, and they know how to write a report to run on earnings.
Yeah.
They've done it several times, and I'm going to call my shot that you're going to see a Dash trade in testimonials from me this week.
What's your upper end?
So yeah,
What's your upper end?
70. I've got 70C for March, like 317.
My upper level is 79, but there's definitely that's not all in one boat. That's why I asked what you had. It sounds A plus.
Yeah, it is. It is for sure.
The what? Say it. I gotta hear it.
Got to hear what
You were gonna
what
say.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So they'll start to pile in like 90 or 100C if this beats. I've seen this before. So that's kind of what I'd be looking for the day after earnings. But the earnings play initially, if it runs pre-market, of course, is going to be that profit taking.
Yeah.
And then we see the recovery from there. But yeah, no, definitely going to be rangy as hell this week. So I like Dash.
If you're playing after earnings and it's good, your 60 is what you're getting.
Yeah.
If you're trying to play a flush before earnings, 55, 53 is probably what after earnings, like at the flush side, it's probably 53, 55. I don't think we get much below 55 at all at any point in time, leading in or around it. That's just what my plan is on that. EXK, legit only put it on here because it's on my 319 level, and you're talking silver. I like Gato too. But this one,
yeah, EXK is like my original silver small cap that I got in on way back when.
Yep.
And 5C. So it's January 2024, and but it's clear as day that that's predicting a silver uptrend.
Hot lister.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Jesus, I'm fucking home running it this week. What's going on?
And the sectors are lining up for one thing.
I focused on that. I really did. It's got to be 2 pluses on your end at this point. SL 359 one line chart. It just pulled back, kind of gave away a week. It's got that coin candle.
So that's some unresolved flow to the downside.
Yeah. We'll wait.
At like 3.
Yep, no, we're waiting. Real easy there for me since we got good ones already. Laser 6 to 750. Again, $30 candle on the penny side because it was up 1 week and back down this last week. But we're right on 607. I mean, 8 Mile Line Friday. So it's.
Yeah, this is one of those where when it fell to $4, I had a comment. I'm like, I can't believe Laser's $4. And I should just buy stuff when I say that, because every time I say that, that's like the bottom and it comes back.
It's hard to do unless it's Disney in the 80s, I promise.
Yeah.
It's just hard to do. But eventually it will wear you out, P, and you'll be like, all right, 10 shares. I'm putting $40 in that no matter what. And then eventually you go, all right, 100 shares. Because you just don't never miss on those. Like, you never miss on them. And you're like, oh, this swing shit's easy. Let's get the sizing right.
Right. Okay. The deal here is the sold puts at 6 are really solid. 217, 6P.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to let it fall much below that. And then 7 back to 7, pretty easy, I think.
So A plus sounds like it's A plus.
Yeah.
I don't know when it happened, but it happened and I missed it. But MDOG has options now. MODG. Sorry.
Oh, ammo.
Yeah, me and the dyslexic kicks in.
Oh, Top Golf. Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I bought this at 1870. I mean, this is it's staying there. It's not going anywhere. But they didn't have options when I first got on it, and I looked again because it was pulling back, and I was like, "Oh crap, they got options. Let me ask P." Um, yes, I do use him for financial advice. Sorry, people, but
So this got a 6-leg parlay for you tonight.
yeah.
Okay, so interesting thing here. The only thing that they were buying in volume was 217.23C, which this being Mopex week and all that, with the amount they bought here, I think they're planning to exercise those. So that actually sort of works like a sold put, where I think we're kind of at the bottom here.
So they just had ER Friday, Thursday afternoon, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're they're not. It didn't look good from a report perspective because they're spending cash on building stuff constantly. So it looks like
Yeah.
they're losing money because they're building. They can't not build because if they don't build, they don't have a place to do business. Like they are that unique, right? They don't take over someone else's space. They have to build their own spaces. That was the only bad part of the report. We all know who they are. If you believe in it, you're bottom level here, in my opinion. Like, um, so I don't know how you feel
Yes.
on
Yeah.
that. Is this more of a leaper? Is it a good spot here? I just wanted to
Um,
get it
I
awareness out
I
there.
like so I like May call 25 or 26. So that's like a swing.
Okay,
So I do like.
okay, okay.
I think every small city like suburb in Iowa or something is going to get a Top Golf. That kind of seems to be their plan. So I like their overall direction and all that.
Perfect. But yeah, let's keep it there. Or let's get it, at least get it in everybody's radar. Because I don't think most
Yeah.
people know what that is. Um, play burgers. 44 confirming last week. Um, this is another one that probably needs to be super strong to 50, or we have better fish in the sea right now. Um,
Yeah, we really should have pounded the table to buy this in the 30s, though. Like the low
29.99
30s.
special.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're really good under 38, to be honest, Professor. Anywhere under there, that's the last time it kind of consolidated, was that 38 area in November.
This is one of the original stocks that got me into like mid cap options when people told me they were mid cap options are trash.
This
But
is this is
I
definitely
disagree.
um, what was it on the down? I think it was coin downside. I really think it was coin downside, and then I was like, hold on, this professor guy might be onto something. But I ain't playing the
Yeah.
fucking. I'm not playing the downside with this guy. He's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, and then play, we hit the 29.99 special, and
Yeah.
so I'm pretty sure it was it coin? Was it coin that you just nailed? It's like a stupid downside move. Well, you had a big
Yes,
you
it
had a
was.
big thesis to it too. Like you were still writing your
Yep.
money theses back then.
It was in like the 200s or something at the time.
Yeah, and it just got wrecked out of ER. But this play was the
Yeah.
one was like, wait, we might be onto something together with good TA and flow reads here.
Yep. And then I remember you kept asking me about while I was doing Oxy. And we started getting the oil plays together too.
Yep, yep.
Um, and, and it was like Beam and another Chargers. So it's been a process. It's been good. So yeah, I like $50 on this
Is it good?
for 421.50C.
All
Yeah.
right, yeah, let's add it. Let's add it then. I think it's a good time to get back here. Oh, damn, I'm fucking killing it. PSNY, 550 strong on my side. Um, it's just not going away. Sector wise, not my favorite right now, but chart wise, 550.
Well, and this doesn't have as much to give back as like Lucid or those other ones. I got sixes and sevens still. I got for April.
Golly, yeah, that's seven's my number. That's where we should be. We're building support at 550 for some reason.
Yeah.
Yep. Inside Bar Weekly. We'll put it on there. It's in my notes. It's not going anywhere. PayPal. I cannot believe this.
I like that we're on the other side of earnings for sure.
Yes, that's why I believe that's exactly post ER. That's my note on that guy. I have 70 to 90. It's not with the change. I'll just keep it simple for you.
Yeah.
80s volume profile on the 1 and 3 year, which is dead ass center of the channel. So you're kind of playable either way on your side, right? Option side, $10 move either way. Seems like a good spot. The report wasn't horrible. I mean, they're pretty big, so for a financial stuff. So I mean, they're going to have good parts and bad parts. Real hard to dissect that.
So for weeklies, 217, 85, and 86 stand out. Those contracts are tradable early in the week on day trades. It's about $60 for 85C. So I like that. Get later in the week, you're getting into Starboy territory. I wouldn't do that. But the move here is 78 to 90. So 78 is my downside, and then 90 is my upside.
God, we're getting played this week, or it's gonna be a good week.
Yeah,
like that's really how I feel.
Well, perfect scenarios to dip early in the week.
Yes.
Get a downside fake out off CPI, and then have it just rip to the upside. That's definitely possible.
I just have it reclaimed.
That's the roadmap in a lot of flow that I'm seeing. So
yeah, I don't even need it to rip. I just need it to reclaim. These ranges are enough. I mean, ripping, and we're doing really good. We're back to that January feel.
Well, yeah, I mean, PayPal was at 88, like a week ago.
So, yeah. No, and that would be this amazing move from here. I would take that all day.
Yeah,
all day. Rocket, not the space one, the mortgage one. Yeah. It's funny that Rocket Lab and Rocket Mortgage, both times have come up the same week in my flipping notes. It was like mid-January when it came up last time, and then it's coming up again. But 869 to 11. Again, $30 candle mention. Back to a level I trust. Would be a perfect high or low.
A lot of these day charts look the same.
Yeah, they do.
Kind of interesting. So yeah, the 9P on it is bullish for 317. And then like 3.3 10C, and then 10C later in the month as well. Sold puts in for June at 9. They're wanting 9 to hold, I think.
Man, it's A plus then. This feels like that something. I feel like I'm getting played right now, Professor. I really do.
Yeah.
All right, this will be the test. God damn it. Run. I forgot when we did the EDU session. It was like in November with this guy, because we were at the 30, and I said if we're gonna break down, we're gonna break down to this 22. We did go below 22 for 2 weeks in that session, but since then it's hit the 30, came back down, and 22 has been real strong since the start of the year. I don't care what time frame you look at it. If you don't see 22 since the first of the year, hit me up in DMs and I'll come in voice chat like this and we'll talk it out, because you should see this 22. It's stupid respected, which is where we are right
now. Yeah, so I like 22 to 25 is kind of the trade to me that stands out. I've got April 25C, some 217 25C. That's cutting it close though to me, but You can get like 317 25C. I like that trade.
How much are those?
So um, those are 150 bucks.
Okay, okay. As I say, those are probably a couple $100 contracts. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this does have the. Do you have flow to 30?
Yeah, I got 915 3250.
What grade do you give this on
So,
your end?
um, let me check end phase real quick.
Good
That actually
call,
is
P.
relevant
Good
for
call,
what this is.
P. No, good call.
Yeah, that actually that's good. So it's A. I won't say A plus, but it is A for run because end phase is had a great report and then sold off because that's what things do. But yeah, end phase is probably going 220 to 240, I think. So
This gets
so
back.
solar's right at the floor, and I think it's going to turn.
This gets back to 25 with like naturally. Um, it gets to 30 with any kind of good momentum.
Yeah.
Man, this is crazy. Stitch Fix. I don't really have a bunch of levels on this guy, but the $4 one's kind of been the pivot. It would be a good spot for a higher low from where we came from. Top end kind of scares me at this point. The 6 seems like it's it, but 4 to 6 is playable. Um, if that's the what you have on your side.
Yeah, the calls are a little too bearish for me.
Okay.
Like the 5.5C is about 60% bearish for this week. So,
Right.
or no, I mean not for this week, for next week.
We need to miss one over here finally. Jesus, this is a ridiculous,
Yeah.
most ridiculous thing ever. Um, kind of I didn't do a lot of it, but I did do a little bit of uh, pound the table on what I preach. Find things in uptrends. Try to find things in sectors. Um, th- right now, try to find things on the other side of ER. um,
Yeah.
NGL. It's an energy partnership. Has some range. I'm just interested in what you see on your side. Brand new to me, so I really don't have levels outside of volume profile. Um, but did really good Thursday, Friday through ER, and does have some range.
Yeah, they're trying to trap people with 2.5C. Those are like bearish contracts. So I think we do pull back some, and then I don't have enough after that to know. So
Okay.
it needs to, and then we'll see.
Perfect. Perfect. Awesome. And that's pretty man. I can't believe it. That's crazy.
Wish I would have found NGL because I was pretty bullish on pipelines, but I didn't. Miss that one
Yeah,
before the
that's what I
earnings.
was. That's what I was looking for. I was just trying to. Again, I said it earlier. Movement kind of has a similar stock thing. You can search for stuff that's similar to what you're looking at, and
Yeah,
I was trying to piggyback off of some of your stuff that you've
yeah.
been.
Talk about a dollar psych holding. Jeez.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. If you look at like the weekly too, there's some. This thing could get super super spicy. Like if it gets above
Oh yeah.
250,
Wow.
it could really get going. And that's what I was hoping you'd have on your side. Like I know it's the twos and the fives, but
Yeah.
um, sometimes those fives are overwhelming. Perfect, perfect.
That's what happened with EVTL.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, where you see that exactly. Man, we got quite the list, quite a lot of the. I mean, there's not too many stocks on here that I haven't been on for a year plus. So I like that in that regard. Sector focus too. So just just hope we hope we have more than a sideways week. I hope we don't have to do another one of those this week. It was pretty rough. Um, I personally got lucky in the socials that kind of kept me in the right side of the week. To be honest.
Yeah. So yeah, for me it was just those crazy earnings flushes. Kind of made my whole week in phase and net.
Yeah, sometimes less is more for sure. For sure. Awesome, awesome. You got anything else? Anything else you want to run by or?
Um, no, not really. I mean, just really just kind of be mindful what's happening with Monday, Tuesday with CPI. Get past that, it'll be a little smoother with trading and levels and all that.
Awesome, awesome. My notes are going to be easy today. So, who do you got that tight end? 37 yards, under or over?
Oh,
Who do you
oh
got?
yeah. So
Who do you got
I'll
tonight?
go. I'll go under. I think we'll go under
You
on
got
him.
who do you got tonight?
Yeah.
I'm just curious on who you got.
Oh,
Or are you just not even into it? Not.
well, I am somewhat. I'll go with it. I think the Eagles get it done.
Yeah, I like Eagles got the better lines, and you know me, I respect the lines.
Yeah, and that their quarterback went to Oklahoma
Yeah, yeah,
after Alabama. So, oh yeah, I'll go with the home guy.
I like it a lot. Awesome, perfect. Well, notes as always. Appreciate your time, P.
Yeah, you too.
All right, have a great one.